Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to this session on climate resilience, green growth, and how we are implementing it in PNG. I would like to welcome everyone, including all our friends and our colleagues from around the world as well. In Papua New Guinea, to say good morning, we say morning olgeta. And in the afternoon, we say abinoon. And in the evening, I get a bit confused when I'm welcomed by people say to me, good evening. Actually, they're not saying goodbye to you, they're just saying hello. So yes, I thank you very much for making the time to attend this session. So this session will actually be run from Papua New Guinea. And I'd just like to say at the start, I'll be the moderator. My name is Saki Pisolia. I'm the country representative for Papua New Guinea, but I'm actually joining you live from Seoul in Korea. Papua New Guinea is actually a land of many contrasts. They say it's also a land of the unexpected. One moment, this could be happening, and the next moment it could be completely different as well. So it's quite an interesting country to work in. Papua New Guinea, the country over the last 10 years has made steady growth and achieved progressive action across the economy. But since 2000, with the unprecedented challenge of climate change and its impact, it's really taken its toll on the country in many, many ways, economically, socially. So the government is really trying its best through climate action to help communities become really resilient and adapt to the situation, but also play its part in terms of mitigation. CRGG is actually the flagship project for GGGI in PNG, and it started in 2019, and we finished the project in June this year. So we're now actually in the process of negotiating with Australia for the next phase. So we are very grateful. I would like to mention at the start, we're very grateful to the tremendous support we received from Australia, from DFAT, over the last 4 years in sponsoring and funding the CRGG project. We are also grateful to the government of Papua New Guinea and particularly CCDA for its facilitation, for its support. And it's actually the Department of Government where GGI is actually embedded. And CRGG will not be successful without, of course, the support of the provincial government. So we have their representatives who will be presenting today as well. So we are also acknowledging the tremendous support that we've received from them, from the governor and the provincial administrator of, and the government officials of Enga province, also Milne Bay, and also New Ireland. The purpose of this session is to really demonstrate how we've actually implemented CRGG in Papua New Guinea, and we're very fortunate to be able to bring together for this session a whole group of speakers from the national and the provincial administration, including DFAT as well, to share with us about their own experience and accounts of how we've actually implemented CRGG in Papua New Guinea and the lessons learned as well. For us, to implement CRGG, we had 6 million Australian funding from DFAT, and that translates to about 4.4 million USD. So that funded our program over the 4 years. And when we implemented CRGG, we actually followed the GGGI value chain, where initially we engaged with the provincial governments, and we worked with 3 pilot provinces. We undertook a green growth potential assessment, not only at the national level, but also at the provinces for these 3 provinces, and that developed the baseline to actually inform the design of the project. And from there, we actually did a lot of awareness training and capacity building, and working with the provincial governments to develop their CRGG strategies. They all now have CRGG strategies and action plan, which they are now implementing. And then we moved on to the final part, which is working with them to develop project ideas and project pipelines and funding proposals, and which we are now implementing. And the first project that has come to fruition out of that is the adaptation for small-scale agriculture project. And which is ASA. And for that, we secured $10 million USD from the Rehabilitation Fund in March of this year. So the presenters, I'll just very quickly introduce the presenters. And we have Mr. Reuben Seaton, who is the Second Secretary for Economics from the Australian High Commission. He will be providing some introductory remarks on behalf of the DFAT and the Australian government. And we also have Ms. Gwen Siso, who is actually the General Manager of the Climate Change Development Authority. She will also be giving us some opening remarks as well. So they both have about 5 minutes each to do that. And then we'll have our lineup of speakers, Mr. Ben Sarat, who's actually the Director of Policy and Planning in ANGA, Mr. Lionel, who's the Principal Advisor, Natural Resources and Climate Mitigation Department of Milne Bay Province. And of course, Mr. Gideon Bogosia, Director, New Ireland Provincial Government. And if it's not available because of connectivity issue, then Penny, the Deputy CR for Papua New Guinea, will present on his behalf. And lastly, we have Sonia Bene, who's the Red Plus Officer from Climate Change Development Authority as well. So we see there's a strong representation of women. Again, Papua New Guinea takes gender very seriously. So having said those few words, once we finish with the presentation, all the speakers will have 10 minutes each. We'll have about 10 minutes of question and answer at the end, and I'll wrap up the session with some closing remarks. So I'll pass us over to Shanila, who's coordinating from Port Moresby, to set us up for the first introductory remarks from Reuben Seaton. Thank you. Over to you, Reuben. Reuben, are you there? Probably we'll start with Gwen, and when Reuben comes on, then he can make his opening remarks. Gwen, over to you. Yeah, Gwen, can you please unmute yourself?
Oh. Thank you, Saki. Can you hear me now?
Very clearly, like you're just 1 meter away.
Thank you. So I'm Gwen Sisio. I'm here on behalf of the Managing Director for the Climate Change and Development Authority, Mr. William Lakai. So on behalf of CCDA and all our stakeholders, we want to thank Triple GI for your continued support to climate change in PNG and in particular to CCDA. We are here. I'm very pleased to be participating in this Global Green Growth Week. And I feel like the theme, fast-tracking transformative climate action, should be our mantra in moving climate change forward, really. Because in PNG, we feel like we've done a lot, but we've also struggled a lot in trying to deliver on climate change. Maybe just to give a backdrop, we started this work really pinning climate change to our development agenda, because at the beginning, it was an issue which our government didn't really take to heart, because priority was to drive economic development. So the best option has always been for us to integrate climate change, mitigation and adaptation into our economic development in terms of our planning, in terms of our programming, and even getting the partnerships to implement activities on the ground. But if you look at our constitution, we talk about integrated development, and perhaps that's what has made our policy development for climate change a bit easier, and also maybe the planning. So if you look at all the plans, we have Vision 2050, the strategic plan, it all has components or pillars on climate change. And then when you come to delivery, CCDA, we are just coordinating. So we pull together all stakeholders who are supposed to help us deliver on climate change. And they have their own plans, they have their own activities. And another big part that we play is to bring in the appropriate partnerships and the resources. And so for Triple GI, you came in at an opportune time for PNG in particular, where you brought expertise that helped us to be able to tap into, to be able to deliver climate resilience. I mean, it's called climate resilience and green growth. We started by saying climate compatible. So it was a bit, it wasn't different, but sometimes difficult for us to fully understand. So when climate resilience and green growth came along, it was a bit palatable in a way. So this program, I think, as you said, SAKI started in 2019 with the support of the Australian government. We see it as that support to the government that mainstreams climate change at the subnational level. So what we've managed to do at the national level by mainstreaming climate change, at least in the policy development and the regulatory space, this project has done with your pilot provinces. So, and we'll hear from them very soon. And I think I just want to say thank you for bringing that project, implementing that project to a point where these three particular provinces are now able to speak about their experiences. There's so many challenges working in PNG and forcing climate change. Maybe these challenges are multiplied. And so it's not always very easy to deliver things here, but I think you've done a really good job. And overall, in terms of climate change implementation, I think we've come a long way, but there's still a long way. And we hope that Triple GI is here for the long run. We look forward to continuously working with you. Thank you very much, and happy Global Green Growth Week. Yeah.
Thank you, Gwen, for your wonderful remarks. Now we'll turn it over to Ruben. Ruben, over to you.
Thanks, Sakyusa. Just checking you can hear me now.
Yes, very clear, my mate.
Yay, I'm glad. My sincere apologies, but good morning. Thank you, True, everyone, for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Ruben Seed, and I'm a second secretary at the Australian High Commission Port Moresby. And since 2021, I've had the pleasure of working with the PNG government and the GGGI PNG team to advance climate action, specifically through the flagship CRGG project. So I'm delighted to be able to join colleagues on the line following the completion of the project to reflect on its successes and the model it presents for our region. So the PNG CRGG project was born from a desire to fast-track transformative climate action, as this week's Global Green Growth Week suggests. But it also recognised that smooth and swift access to international climate finance couldn't be achieved without a strong foundation built through meaningful consultation and nationwide buy-in. And from the High Commission, we see that CRGG really stands apart from other initiatives through its unique commitment to advancing this resilience at the subnational level. There was obviously no handbook for developing this project, and the project needed to weather some major external challenges, including COVID. And it took true commitment and passion from the provincial government officers and GGGI's provincial project officers to realise. And it was only through a patient and consultative process that provincial strategies developed in line with PNG's NDCs were achieved. Us at the High Commission, we could certainly see firsthand the meaningful impact when we travelled to Enga, to Milne Bay and to New Ireland provinces and met with provincial stakeholders. And it's fantastic to see several of them online today. I can see Ben, I can see Misa, and also Gideon. And so empowering local officials and supporting locally led development is a priority for Australia, including through our new international development policy. The CRGG project also realised the successful formula for scaling up PNG's access to climate finance, which Saki referenced earlier. And we're all aware of the challenges that PNG and other Pacific countries face in accessing multilateral sources of funding. But the CRGG project showed a pathway to streamline the process for accessing these opportunities to implement PNG's NDCs. The standout, obviously, the ASA project, which took the testimonies from Enga, Milne Bay and New Ireland provinces to unlock $10 million from the Adaptation Fund with concept note to board approval in just over a year, is a real model to show what can be done for the future. The CRGG project has been a critical part of Australia's contribution to climate action in PNG and in the Pacific more broadly. And I think it exemplifies the partnership between Australia and GDGI, which will continue to strengthen, including through Australia's support for 8 climate finance access network offices across the Pacific. We're also excited to speak about and continue pushing forward with the next steps following the completion of the CRGG project. This year, we've been working with the GDGI PNG team and the PNG government on a new scaled-up investment, which Saki mentioned, which will capitalise on the successful approaches of CRGG and also double down on achieving PNG's aim to unlock more climate finance from both international and domestic sources. So we're excited to finalise these arrangements and commence a new phase soon. I'll conclude by thanking all our project participants, from our colleagues in the offices in Port Moresby to the highlands of Enga province to the coastal forests of Milne Bay and the Billus Place, New Ireland. I look forward to hearing your reflections and continuing the journey to advance climate resilience and green growth in PNG. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Ruben, for your inspiring remarks. Again, we acknowledge the great support that we receive from the Australian government and the Australian Commission, not only for CRGG, but our future ambition as well. So we'll now go straight to the presentation by our One Talks from the provinces. So first up is Ben Serrett. Ben, over to you.
Good day, all participants. This is the opportunity for me to present on our reflections here in Enga.
Ben, could you speak up, please?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Saki, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
All good.
Great. Thank you. I start again. It's an opportunity for me to present during this Global Green Growth Week. We are privileged to be part of the 3 pilot provinces in the country. And I'll just give you an update on our reflections so far for Enga. We're presenting on 3 areas: policy alignment and the opportunities there, and then the steps forward, what we will do in progressing, advancing climate resilience in the province. Thank you, Shitan, for the remarks, and Ewan from CCDA. It's an opportunity that Enga was chosen as part of this 3 pilot provinces. And I just go straight to our presentation. I hope you hear me clearly.
Yeah, Ben, I think if you lean forward, we'll hear you better. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. One talk.
Okay, great. Okay, to start off with 3 areas, three areas that I'll be talking about are the reflection on ENGA. Firstly, on the policy alignment and adoption. We can go straight to the policy alignment adoption. Okay. Firstly, in ENGA, climate change, we felt the impact of climate change, but we haven't realized how serious it was until thanks to Triple GI for the intervention. Though we have reflected in our high level development plans, like the Vision 2050 is reflected there, and so is the PNG development strategic plan and other cascading plans. And also we thank the Triple GI for the intervention, and we came up with our strategy, CRGG strategy for the province, and it was a timely at that time when we were yet still doing our step up ENGA strategy 10-year plan, and Triple GI was instrumental in mainstreaming climate change into our strategy, and we are ready to launch our plan soon, along with our strategy, CRGG strategy, and climate change. I just can you go back to the first one, that option part? Climate change. Hello. Climate change is one of our key game changers in the province. So, and as part of our five, sorry, yeah, thank you. Climate change is is among our 5 key game changers in the province, and we believe climate change, mainstreaming it into our strategies and our plans, and perhaps our implementation part of any projects would bring a change to the province. Okay, left to the opportunities. Go to the next slide. Okay, we have, in our strategy, step of ENGA strategy, we have mainstreamed or integrated our CRGG strategy into our step of ENGA strategic plan for the 10 years. And as per the feasibility studies done of vulnerable areas we have identified with the help of Triple GI. And these are the 6 areas that we have identified that we believe intervention and assistance there would really actually advance climate change mitigation adoption in the province. So those are the 3, the first 6 strategy initiatives in our step up ENGA. We've included sustainable forest and landscape management is one of our key strategy initiatives. And second is climate smart agriculture. The third, water conservation access, green industries and jobs, green infrastructure. This includes transport, energy, and buildings, and cross-cutting inclusive green growth interventions. To deliver these 6 main strategic initiatives under climate climate change and environmental sustainability, we are looking at developing a project implementation unit, which is in progress right now. Hopefully, should be delivered by end of this year, and that is the implementing arm that will advance climate mitigation in the province. So that we are working towards it now. Okay, we'll move to the next slide. Going forward, around those opportunities that we have mentioned, or strategic initiatives, we believe that we have to come up with ideas or develop project concept notes, and build a pipeline projects like the one that we did earlier with Triple GIS on the ASA project. And we are so happy that we have secured 10 million, and it's just yet to be progressed. Probably it's with Triple GI to probably take us to on that one. And for our 6.
Sorry, Ben, in the interest of time, could we have you wrap up in 1 minute, please? Thank you. We've got a whole range of others. You have speakers too. Thank you. Thank you, Ben.
Okay, thank you, Saki. That's a step forward. We have a climate finance target. It's like said it around first strategy initiative 59, and so the total is around 9.12 million US dollars is required to actually implement those strategy initiatives. Probably go to the next slide. Next slide. Okay. We've already started on some projects here in the province by policy adaptation at the local levels, like the early maturity sweet potatoes varieties that's already been implemented here at the province. So as we have 35,000 MSME women in business who actually involved in climate smart agriculture projects in the province. So we believe we have to target loss and damages, like climate crisis. We have to start doing something instead of just waiting. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Ben. Very interesting stuff you've just shared with us. And again, we wish you well in continuing the good work in Nanga province. So let's move on to the next speaker, be Misa Lionel. Misa, over to you. Please, in the interest of time, could you go through your presentation quickly? Thank you.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Very clear, Wando.
Thank you, Saki. Firstly, I want to take this time to thank GGI and all our partners for our participation in this GGI week. Basically, I have only, let's say, 3 slides. So I'll be, with the interest of time, I'll just run through quickly and then allow other participants to also say something. Okay, setting the scene, those are the contents there. Setting the scene, Mlimba initiative and institutional establishment. Please, next slide. Okay, initially, as a way of setting the scene, in Mlimba, we had issues of manpower. You can see on the slide there, we had only one officer that was looking after climate change, environment, and other partners that are working with us. There was only one officer who took that role. And, the other challenge on the slide there, we also have funding constraints. We have our plan with the budget, but there was no line budget for climate change activities. And as the list goes on, lack of knowledge, so you have the mainstreaming process. We also have limited climate change activities in the sector plans, which also led to limited oversight of climate change activities, and mainly lack of coordination of climate change projects in the province due to our capacity issues. But however, during the time, only opportunity we had was we have an environment officer, only one single officer within the unit to provide oversight to all those activities. And with the introduction of our Provincial Climate Change Advisory Committee, it was good that this committee also provide oversight in the implementation of climate change activities in the province. Next slide, please. Next slide. All right. Sorry, the previous one. Thank you. Yes. So this initiative taken during when the GGI came to Mlimba, this was an initiative that supported us in implementing climate change activities. Firstly, we were happy that we have a GGI officer who was stationed in the province, particularly in the unit where Environment Officer was. So we also we're using the officer as part of our manpower to help us go through our programs and activities. Okay. Local climate change priority areas. During the CRDG assessment, we identified our priority impact areas. And then capacity building in the CRDG mainstreaming for provincial sector heads. I think this was a key activity for us, because initially the officers in the province found it a bit challenging for mainstreaming. So this training was important for us, so we can actually mainstream CRDG into our plans, our activities. And then development of a Milne Bay provincial climate resilient green growth strategy. It was done through DJI support. So after the training, the capacity building, the officers with the support of DJI, they were able to develop the CRDG strategy for the province. Yes, so this policy here is adopted by a provincial executive council or Milne Bay provincial government. It's a policy planning policy framework. So that's a milestone for us. It becomes an official document for provincial government. And CRDG strategy, as we go forward, this is a planning year. So we had our planning workshop last week. So this CRDG strategy will be integrated or mainstream into our next 5-year plan, provincial plan, 2023 to 2027. Yes, and it's going to be the same to the district and LRG plans. Okay, some of the project interventions during CRDG phase here in Milne Bay. We have a biogas project, palm oil biogas project. We initially started negotiation with our New Britain palm oil in the province, and then our ASA project that I think we already got some funding approvals, yes, for the project eventuate, yes. And then with our former administrator, like our next potential project would be like trying to get Milne Bay province the first green city in PNG. It's a big aspiration for us. Next slide, please. Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Can this be your last minute, if you don't mind? Thank you.
Sure. This is my last slide.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
The intervention of DJI in the province, now we see a new division created as we speak. I look after this new division. It's called Natural Resource and Climate Mitigation. And then our manpower also improved. We have 10 staff now, although it's not fully recruited yet, but we expect to have 10 staff. And our office is fully operational. And then we have funding allocation for us to carry out our activities. Yes, and which we provide more coordination, yes. So ownership and sustainability, yes, Milne Bay Province CRDG strategy is it's under custody of our new division. It becomes a part for core functions to implement. So finally, NRCM division play an important role in integrating the Milne Bay Provincial Climate Resilient Green Growth Strategy into the provincial 5-year development plan. And I think that's about all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Misa. Again, we acknowledge all the good work that's going on in Milne Bay, and we also thank you for the support, the continuing support we get from you and the provincial government. So we move on to the next speaker. It'll be is Gideon available?
No, unfortunately.
So it'll be Penny. Penny, are you presenting?
Yes, Saki, I'm happy to come in.
Over to you, Penny. Penny will be speaking for the New Ireland province. Unfortunately, because of connectivity issue, is not available. Penny, over to you.
Thank you, Saki, on behalf of Gideon and New Ireland. Guys, New Ireland is famous for two things: never-ending beaches and gold, and lots of gold. So the people are known for being autonomous, independent economically. It's one of the reasons why they've dived into climate resilience and green growth measures by coming up with the strategies. I'm going to go into the next slide and take you through why they led the development of the CRGG strategy in New Islands province and how. The New Island people are known for being autonomous. They've always wanted to become economically independent. So hence the strong political support from day one, pre-COVID times. You can see the former country representative there, Achala, who's currently now a regional director for Asia. With on Achala's left on that picture that you see is the Minister of Finance for Papua New Guinea at the moment. He's also the governor of New Ireland. Very politically driven support there by the government. So they developed, they facilitated consultations with different levels in the provinces, the districts, the representatives of women and youth. They came together even during COVID pandemic and developed the strategy. That was on the foundation of a strong embedment of CRGG project officer and really good project governance from the CRGG team here at GGGI and CCDA. So moving on from there into the next slide, what we see here are sort of three major steps of how we mainstreamed climate risks into the provincial level, subnational level. The way New Ireland did this was looking at sectors. Now, New Ireland has a different way of sorting out its sectors. Under the economic sectors, you have multiple layers of subsectors. You're talking the economics of roads and highways, the infrastructure, the trade that comes in. Under the economic sector, the economic team led the development through participation, conducted the vulnerability assessment, conducted an analysis of the situation, and then from there, they designed what are the priorities that the government of New Ireland should give focus to in developing its climate resilience green growth strategy. And from there, as you can see, they currently have a draft of the New Ireland Economic Sector Plan that they're reviewing. And at this stage, having worked with the CRGG assessment on the ground, they're using that assessment, the document on the left of your screen, to actually help pinpoint which priority they need to focus on. Here are the priorities in the next slide. You see the pipeline of priorities there. They dive straight into the water supply project, ventured into ecotourism. They need flights to come from China directly, bring in visitors from China, from Indonesia, from next door directly into here. So we need to establish that sustainable ecotourism program. That's in the CRGG strategy. Sustainable fisheries with endless beaches. You have a strong it's one of the spawning areas of fisheries in Papua New Guinea. You have the economic exclusive economic zone, very strong there with a lot of nursery area there. The people want to focus on market accessibility. How do you bring that big mud crab from there to the market in PNG and Port Moresby? Then you have the Climate Resilient Island Project. You see there on the right of the screen, we have our CFN advisor being a tourist there, taking pictures and conducting actually assessments. He had to jump in a banana boat. He had to jump from Laos, jump in a banana boat, go straight into one of the outer islands that is actually facing drought at the moment. And you have the consultation on the ground with children, women, youth, and you name it. These are the pipeline projects that they want to seize climate finance. So having seizing those climate finance, we now have a balance of 3.4 million for Papua New Guinea with the adaptation fund. New Ireland says we want that 3.4 million to build our climate resilience project, and we need CCDA's help with GGGI. So that is something that we're cooking in the books as we move to the next slide. Next steps. Very much socially, economically, politically driven in the way the approach New Ireland is taken. It's taken on board its CRGG strategy and say, let's walk through this. Number one, let's communicate and engage actively with people in Port Moresby, with CCDA. Number two, let's also look back at the district level. Let's work with the NGOs, with the boots on the ground, from Save the Children to ICN to Wildlife Conservation Society. These are the boots on the ground that will make things happen with our communities, work with them. Three, we need to reach out to and have already taken a step forward with Newcrest. This is the company that's leading the Gold Island that is new in New Ireland, Lihir Island, already establishing partnership with that private sector, Newcrest, coming on board on how to capitalize on the corporate social responsibility of that particular company. That is forging private sector in action That has been guided by the CRGD strategy, largely to collaborate long-term partnerships with the likes of DFAT from Australia, the government of Australia, the government of New Zealand, of Japan, of Singapore, and others, including China, through the Belt and Road Initiative. They're starting talks on how we can link there under this particular one. These are the broad steps. Guided by those steps are those climate risk measures and policy measures that New Ireland thought they need to be careful of. And to have that is the strategy that the CRGG project put in place to guide the intervention for the next 5 years. The New Ireland, as much as same as Enga and Milne Bay that just presented, also coined CRGG strategy as their provincial determined contributions. The goals there and the priorities there are linked to the national determined contributions of Papua New Guinea to hit those targets by 2030. That takes us to the next slide, which is to say thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Penny, for the succinct presentation. Again, very good work going on in New Ireland. A lot of opportunities for the future as well. The next speaker will be Sonia. Sonia will be talking to us about capacity building and training that's going on in PNG under the CCDA. The CRGG project. Sonia, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Triple JAD, for this program. We're so very thankful that we've gained this sort of knowledge within this capacity. But there were actually 4 types of capacity building under the Triple JAD training that were carried out. I was one of the participants for one of the outputs, which is the output 2. So thank you so much for that. I will be specifically just outlining, going through, next please. I'll be just going through what sort of lessons learned have I learned from this program, and the challenges and recommendations and the success stories of this activity, this training that I went to. So as you can see, some of the key lessons learned from the implementation of the dedicated mentoring program, which was the output 2, which I attended. There was clear program objective and expectations, also ensuring that both mentors and the mentees have a clear understanding of their roles, responsibilities, and the goals helps to set foundation for a successful mentoring relationship. Another key lesson that I learned was the significance of effective communication and regular check-ins between mentors and mentees. There were regular meetings and open communication channels, fostered trust and also allowed for feedback. And also it enabled the mentees to share challenges and seek guidance. Also, the mentees have reported that this has helped them increase their knowledge in terms of increase the confidence in their abilities to improve in decision-making skills and a broader understanding of their industry or field of expertise due to the support and guidance received through this BMPM program, because it was not only CCDA that was involved, but it involved few sectors that were included to be able to carry out this mentoring program. Also, when you can also see that the DMP program holds significant importance for the PNG government as it aligns with its priorities and capacity building, skills development, and knowledge transfer. And I would say that this, through the Triple GI, the DMP program is one of the first of its kind in the country, and we were very fortunate to be part of it. With any type of program, you will also have challenges, and there were some challenges that we also recognized. And one of the challenges that arose during the DMP implementation program was the difficulty in finding suitable mentors with relevant expertise and accessible with availability. It was a bit of a challenge. And another challenge was the potential lack of mentor-mentee compatibility. However, with that, we can see there were also other challenges. Internet issues of the program since it was also ran online, others had one-on-ones, meaning in person. So they were very lucky to be able to progress with their programs. But with the ones that were not able to make it, we had internet issues also. Also, the limited time frame to run with the program, although we had only limited time to finish this program, so which means that maybe in future it has to be framed around some sort of accessibility of time frame, especially. Also, unavailability of staffs to attend meetings due to busy work schedule. There were some people who had other schedules beside that, so which means that there needs to be proper communication and engagement, and especially in trying to frame this program. Also, with that, there are some recommendations that we have come up with, that to address in some of these challenges, there has to be a comprehensive mentor selection and screening process could be implemented to ensure the best possible match between mentors and mentees. And also to overcome this, a robust mentor-mentee matching process has to take place, including aligning the interests, skills and aspirations could be established to enhance the chances of a successful mentoring relationship. Also, in order for us to make this program to be successful, the program will be more effective if it runs like a course and in participants and attend in person rather than online, because as per the experiences that we had, there's also, like I said, internet issues. So it would be advisable that instead of just a 6 weeks program and being there for just an hour or two and online, it's not feasible and that's not being realistic. It's better to have a 6 weeks program, but in person at a location with a suitable mentee and mentors, so that you can be able to get the essence out of it. Because in order to do a concept note, which the program I went through, it's not feasible to have 1 hour per week or 2 hours per week or just online communication. It's rather practical to have make it more tangible and more efficient and effective, that there has to be some sort of a lockdown session with the mentees and mentors having run through the program and making it work. And also review and the last one, review and design program and timeframe according to mentor and mentees availability. That has been one of the issues. These need to be identified initially before the program, so that at least we don't run into some mentees and mentors being unavailable for the program. And also with all those
Sonia, can you just start? Sonia, hi. Sorry for interrupting. Can I just give you 1 more minute to wrap up, please? Thank you.
Sure. So as you can see, those are some of the success stories we had. We successfully completed 6 weeks long DMP program. We had 10 CCDA officers with other 2 government agencies. And also we had very gender equality, meaning there were 50% male, female, and we had representation from Fiji, Vanuatu, and the headquarters as our 4 mentors. And a total of 4 project concept notes have been drafted to be developed further on. But we really appreciated this program. Thank you, Triple J, for this opportunity. Appreciate you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Sonia. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. Thank you for sharing with us your own personal experience about the training that you've received. And of course, you've shared with us some very, very useful lessons there. As we all know, capacity building is so important in supporting the implementation of a project like this. At the end of the day, well, it's said that a good development is when you work yourself out of a job, where you pass on the knowledge and the skills to the local people. So we have 10 minutes where we a little bit of time for question and answers. We'll take 3 questions. I think the rule here is that we'll allow for 2 questions from those who are attending online and 1 question from the floor here. Are there any questions online, Sijun? No?
Yes, Saki, there's a question online.
Okay, would you like to read the question, Shanila?
Yes, so Mihar, is posing the question and saying that as a GGGI family, we work on the same island, Papua Island, but in different countries, in PNG and Indonesia. Can we in the West Papua province, subnational province, Indonesia, learn from the successes of the program initiatives from PNG to also have a good impact on the West Papua in the subnational provincial Indonesia program? And thanks in advance.
Yeah.
So I think I'd like to respond to that. Over to you,
Okay.
Penny.
Thank you. An excellent question. Saki, do you want me to respond quickly?
Yeah, go on, Penny.
Sure, excellent. Thank you for reaching out on the question. What we did under CRDG at the end of the project, well, we were very careful to actually capture everything on video, on documentaries. That's one. So we have 7 videos and it's a series that's captured in YouTube channel. So check out our GGGI YouTube channel, type in GGGI CRDG, PNG. Secondly, we have a knowledge product. It's called CRDG Mainstreaming Guidebook. It's a guidebook plus a supplementary video that's also available on GGGI YouTube channel. And thirdly, we captured a replication plan to capture everything that we did since before COVID and during COVID and after COVID. And we capture this in a nice succinct replication plan document that you can easily pick up and implement it at the sub-national level. So good luck, reach out to me, I'm happy to share for more.
Yeah, thank you, Penny. Yeah, what I'd like to add to that as well is that, we're more than happy to engage with you, and we can have calls and we can organize that and talk about what are the important areas you'd like to learn, and we can share the experiences from Papua New Guinea with you. No problems. We'll be very happy. Any other question? Online? No? What about from the participants that are in this room? Stelio? No? Happy? Okay. Let's sing that on the screen. Well, I'll in my position as the moderator, it's my task to actually wrap up this session. And what I'd like to do is, first of all, thank the speakers for all their wonderful contribution, and also to Ruben and Gwen for their inspiring opening remarks. To me, how I sum it up is this: what we've learned is what actually we've done in PNG, why we've done it, why we've implemented CRGG, how we've done it, and when we've done it, and all the lessons that have come with it. But it definitely has been it's led to transformational results on the ground in Papua New Guinea. But for me, from my personal perspective, to me, CRGG is actually a journey. It's a journey. It's a Papua New Guinea journey with all the partners coming on board together, working together very closely. We have DFAT Australia as the donor. As we all know, there are a lot of ideas will just be on paper. We need resources to actually implement it, to transform or translate those ideas into actions on the ground that will benefit the people of Papua New Guinea. We need partners here, and that's why it's worked really, really well. And we're thankful to CCDA for being a great host, for being a great enabler and supporter of GGGI. And for us, it's very clear our purpose in Papua New Guinea is to serve the government of Papua New Guinea, address its climate action. And this project wouldn't have been successful in the way we've been supported by the provincial government. So to the representatives of Enga Province, Milne Bay, and New Ireland, we are very grateful and thankful to you for all your support up until now, and also going forward as well into the next phase of the Australia program. And to me, the key is actually for Papua New Guinea, what's been the success? We are dealing with this at the people's level. If you look at all the people that are on the screen right now, these are the people that have actually enabled CRGG to be a success, and many more are not around as well. They're not actually, we cannot see them on the screen, but it's actually the success of CRGG has been based on the people that we work with, building the trust, building the connection, sharing the empathy, sharing the concerns and interests for Papua New Guinea, and really wanting to work together to make sure that we deliver the project in the best possible way so that the people of Papua New Guinea can benefit. So to me, going forward, CRGG has provided us with the building blocks. And we're now moving into phase 2. So there's a lot of lessons to learn from the first phase. And our motivation is actually to do a better job going forward. And we're looking forward to working again with all the stakeholders. And also we'll be bringing in 4 more new provinces as well. So for PNG as a country, there's a lot of climate challenges it's facing, but it can be done through the CRGJ framework where like I've always said, that climate change actually takes place on the ground in the communities all across the country for a big island state like Papua New Guinea. So we really have to cascade and work down to the subnational level, to the provincial level, to be able to make this happen. So once again, we're very grateful for the opportunity to present CRGG to Global Green Growth Week. And I thanks again the speakers for your contribution. And I would like to also acknowledge the work that my predecessor, Achala, had done in actually setting up the PNG program and initiating CRGG. And of course, we acknowledge the work of our provincial project officers as well, who are based in the provinces. Sharon in New Ireland, Selena in Mill Bay, and Jason in Anga province. They represent PNG. PNG is locally based, and it's got that connection. It's making things work very well. So again, as a moderator, thank you all, and thank you for listening.